Did you know that there's something more important than just looking at the numbers when it comes to finding a long-term income-producing rental property? Hey there, this is Shecky, and yes, it's true. There are some things to consider beyond the numbers when looking for a good income-producing rental property. And what I'm talking about right now is trends, and many investors do not consider trends. So let's look at the most important trend that's going on right now. And in one word, it's the millennials. Now, the millennials have just recently taken over the baby boomers in our country as the biggest demographic group. I know that's hard to believe, but between some immigration and some of the dying off of baby boomers, they have actually eclipsed them in numbers. So they are a force to be reckoned with. Interestingly, because of problems with education and a little bit more of a topsy-turvy economy than what was happening when baby boomers were graduating from college, the job market now is a lot less stable for these people. So as a result, this group of people is much more mobile. What does that mean? That means they're much less likely to buy a home. They want to rent. They want a nice place. Now, many of them are obviously working in tech sectors as well, if they have any kind of tech savvy, and those jobs are growing like crazy. What's interesting is that there are some cities, most notably in the Midwest, that you would not think are really good tech centers. Like obviously when we look at the obvious stuff, we're going to look at San Francisco and Austin and Boston and LA and New York, places like that that have been known tech centers for a long time. But what many of you don't realize is places like Kansas City, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Cincinnati are also becoming well known as tech centers. Why? Because it's very, very inexpensive to live in these cities. There's really good infrastructure of internet, obviously, and employers know that they can attract high quality talent to these cities. So as a result, there's many millennials moving to these kinds of cities in droves because they understand that they can have a far better quality of life on the same salary than they could in some of the more expensive cities that I mentioned earlier. Interestingly, the millennials are also waiting longer to get married, right? So as a result, they're again less likely to buy that first house. And when they are looking for a rental property, they are looking for something that's close to the city center. They want to take advantage of the amenities that the city in which they live in has to offer. So this is just something for you to consider. Now, I don't want you to think like you shouldn't look at the numbers and you shouldn't look at ROI and you shouldn't look at cash flow. Obviously, you absolutely, as an investor, must look at all that stuff. However, when you start thinking about long-term, you can be smarter than the next investor. Right? And what do I mean by smarter is you're not just looking at that, but you're looking at the overall trends. You're going to select a property in one of these Midwestern cities that I talked about where you know you're going to have a good rental base for many, many years to come. Again, if you want more information, head on over to our website at highreturnrealestate.com. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.